Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, it's a bit of a strange day. It's only -8, but it's kind of foggy and a lot of snow in the air, clouds. And because that's not quite as light and bright as it should be. Jackie! So, no, we're not going far. We're only going up here and back. Calm down, you. Jackie! Come on! Get balky. Jackie! So, we're off up here anyway, and see how things are. Come on in! Come on in! Anyway, we're out with the dogs. It's another not so bad day. Not so bad day today. We are still waterless, still frozen up. We did get some water through. We were messing around last night and got some bit of water through the pipe, but generally we're not there quite yet. So we're still on buckets of water from the well, which is a real horrible way of doing things. It's old-fashioned and time-consuming and energy-consuming. Go out, get a bucket, bring it back. It makes it difficult to wash, makes it difficult even to do the dishes, makes it impossible to flush the toilet, things like that. So, really a difficult time when water's frozen up, and it's a case of a lot of people in the same boat really, where the severe cold has come. Well, nobody's ever, it doesn't matter how much you prepare for it, doesn't matter what you do, whatever thing you do, it's the same old story. You end up with frozen pipes and what have you. And it's a problem, and that's what we've ended up with, is a frozen pipe. And so I put an emergency pipe out. So basically what happens is we've got a well and there's a pipe going into the well, and that pipe comes from the well into the house, and then from the house to a pump. From a pump it then pumps it up to a header tank in the roof base, and that distributes water to the various outlets and whatever. And a part of the pipe got frozen, so emergency is you remove the disconnection from the pipe and put on an external pipe that's heated. And that heated pipe then goes overground into the well and then sucks the water back into the system. But there was a frozen piece within the house due to severe cold and whatever. So we're still messing around. Hopefully I'll have water back on today. We've got partial success yesterday with a little bit of water coming through into the header tank. So at least the wood burners without issue, because wood burner feeds the radiators, which is one thing, because they are a sealed system, no problem. But it also feeds an indirect water boiler, which means that if you have no water in the water boiler, you've just turned it into a compression chamber. And if you turn your water boiler into a compression chamber, guess what? It's a matter of time before it pops apart like a tin can on a fire, and it'll go with a big bang and devastate everything. So it's in very cold weather, if you freeze up, basically, whatever water's left in the tank, you can't touch it. It's sacred. You have to switch off the taps, everything, and leave the water in the water boiler so that you can run your wood burner in a situation like this. And it happens once every few years. It's not every year that we get a frozen pipe. It's every couple of years, and it's when it goes really, really cold, and then you mess around for a few weeks trying to get it to work, and eventually everything, the weather changes, gets warmer, and everything defrosts and go back to normal. But for the time being, it's a pain in the butt, and it's tiring. Keeping the wood going. I mean, in normal weather, sort of -10 to you can go as -18, and really, we don't need to keep the wood burner going at night. It'll be fine. Nothing will freeze, and we'll be okay till the morning. Leave it switch off just so last thing at night when the wood runs down, and then so it'll go out about 2 in the morning probably, and then set it go in the morning about 6 or 8 in the morning, and she'll be fine. But when it hits below -20, -22, 24, what are we doing here? Rolling around, what are you doing? Eh? Then you start to get problems, and we hit here, I think, around about -27, and it's enough to freeze everything. As you know, the Russian girl who's staying with us, same happened to her. Her heating broke down, and then after heating broke down, the water froze in the radiators, and it blew every single radiator in the house. It also, the gas boiler blew out, and the washing machine has now blew out, and the dishwasher has also blown out. Anything with water in it, basically kettle, everything was destroyed. So she's staying with us until we can figure out how we're going to get her back up and running. And that's kind of a story all over cold climate Russia, in places that are European, but that's sort of not Siberian. If you had Siberia that are necessary, you don't future-proof yourself. And that's what we did. We didn't have a heated cable, just put in without any electric heated cable in there. So yeah, you think now, if I wanted to, if this house here in St. Petersburg, if I wanted to redo it, if I wanted to sort in new insulation, new heated cable, all that, I'd have to go in. Complete infrastructure rebuild. Come on then. And deep snowy, a complete infrastructure rebuild, and then yeah, it'd be okay then. But again, it's cost. Where do you put an end to it? Where do you stop? Where do you stop investing into a place? And we're building the new place in Novgorod. There is no desire to do that here in St. Petersburg, so we won't do it. We'll struggle through for another year, this year, then next year, who knows, we might be in Novgorod permanently, or we might be, I think possibly we'll have another winter here in St. Petersburg, and then that'll be the final one. Then we'll go fully up to Novgorod when the house is completed, or at least livable, or at least partially livable. Even partially livable would do. So we're talking about water and electric on for the time being. Probably the first while we will move stuff up there into the house, and while that's going on, live in the hut for a while until we can get everything done. Maybe we'll see what happens. I'm not keen on living in a hut over winter, but I don't want to spend too many more winters here in St. Petersburg. I've quite had enough of the odd grid experience, thank you. It's not I mean, you see all these things, cabin in the woods and all that, and that's okay, cabin in the woods, off-gridness. It's okay if you're in a temperate climate, but in these conditions, no. Well, yeah, you could do it. People do it, but it means collecting water from a well by bucket. It means you can't take showers. It means your toilet could be possibly outside or in a porta potty. If you're in a porta potty, guess what? It's got to be emptied. If you're going to empty it, if you're going to bury it in the ground, then the ground's frozen. How do you dig it? So it's not an easy life. I'm saying it can be done, but it ain't easy. Not under any circumstances. And it's not something for the there's nothing romantic about it anyway. If you're looking at leaving the rat race and building a house in the forest, or what do you call it, cabin in the forest, think twice about it, because in cold weather in your country, wherever it is in your country, even down to slightly minus temperatures, things freeze, and it becomes a bind, because in a off-grid place situation, if you leave your house for a day, say you go to town shopping with your wife or whatever, nobody in the house, when you come back, anything that's in there probably will be frozen if your fire's gone out. And your fire will go out if you're using wood burners. Simple as that. You get about, there's all kinds of things like, you can get these hopper systems where they've got pellets firing into the wood burner and all this. These are all okay, but they're mechanical, and mechanics break. No matter what you do, they're going to break at some point. And I guarantee they'll break when you're not there, and your fire will go out and back to freezing. So think twice if you're doing off-grid. Think carefully, because a lot of the stuff on YouTube, or the cabin build, I built a cabin in one day and all this garbage, it's really selling you a fantasy that's not real. It's not based on reality, it's based on content made for YouTube. Usually these kind of places that are filmed, made in a day, they're built in somebody's backyard, or somebody's piece of land, or even they've gone to somebody and said, we'll build a cabin here, we can film it for YouTube, and you can keep the cabin afterwards. And it's investment. It's investing into a film project, and they get the payoff by the YouTube views and whatever, and the landowner gets a cabin built for free. So, complete fantasy, not based on reality, not based on the harsh realities of living in cold climates or in off-grid living. There's a few that do it, of course, no doubt. I'm no doubt that somebody. What are you doing down there? What's down there? Eh? What are you digging at? Eh? What are you doing? Eh? What are you doing? Eh? Doggy? What are you doing? What you found down there? How you like to roll around the snow, I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, off-griddedness. Think twice if you're going to do anything like that. Wouldn't say it's impossible. It is completely possible, but it is not an easy life that they make out. It's not a simple live in the forest with candles and white rug next to the fire hearth or wood burner and champagne with your wife. No. If you've got a white rug in your house, it's going to end up black with soot. And you get also, there's something else, probably, I don't think I've ever seen anybody mention it on YouTube, but you get blowouts. And what I mean by that is, if you've got a wood burner and goes down to very cold temperatures, what you get is heat from the house and cold outside, and the hot cold air gets in the chimney pipe, and it causes a blockage, heavy air, cold heavy air against the light warm air, and it stops the light warm air coming out. So what happens is you light your fire thinking, oh great, nice warm fire, and the fumes can't get out the chimney, and what happens is it blows it back straight down at you, and you get a house full of smoke, which is really nice. Or I might call it a backblast. That is really nice and comfortable, especially if it's gone really cold. Say it's gone to minus 15 or 20 or something like that, and you get a back blast like that, fills the house with smoke, and even like a half piece of newspaper, just a small piece of newspaper is enough to fill your house with smoke and I mean in seconds. It really does. It's in seconds. And what you have to do is open all your doors, prop them open all your windows. So if you're minus 18, guess what? You sat there waiting for all this smoke to clear out, while you're freezing nuts off. So that's realities. If you want to know how you light a wood burner in cold conditions, what you do actually, you take the smallest piece of newspaper. You don't fold it up into a little tiny ball. You leave it quite open and you let it burn as quickly as you can. And you warm up the flue first. You do that a few times in very cold conditions. And you get your flue warm, and then you can light your fire. It's a lesson to be learned. I learned it very early on. When we first had wood burner, kept getting these back blasts of smoke. I was like, Jesus Christ, what were we doing wrong? And then somebody told us, right, you need to warm the float first with a bit of paper. So, I mean, you can get all these fancy fire lighters and whatever, I suppose, but that's the way to do it. Bit of paper, bit of newspaper. I'll do a demo one day. Come on then. Come on. Archie. Come on then. Keep Archie here a bit. It's been in all day. They'll be in most of the day today. I'm trying to get this water fixed. So they'll be in and out. The temperature is rising, by the way. It is only -8 today. It was very, very cold, and so I'm very happy about that. And apparently it's the very last of the very cold weather we're going to have now, coming into March shortly, and from then on it'll be much, much warmer. We'll get at least plus temperatures, whatever, which means I'll be able to get the van fixed up and on the road again, ready to return to Novgorod, which I am absolutely dying to do. I can't wait. I watch the videos, my own videos, and I'm thinking, you know what, I want to be back there. I want to be in that warm sun. I want to be cooking shashlik at the fire at night time. This year we're going to do a lot more live streaming from the site. We will do fireside, fire pit, fireside, evening sunsets. We're going to do all live stream, all that. You can join us for that, and you can watch us cook meat and sit and slaver on the other side of the screen. And well, that's what we're planning on. We're planning on live streaming from around the town. Beautiful town, very, very rural, quiet town. Only population of around about 29,000, 30,000 now. It's dropped down a few thousand. I've been checking things the last few days. So a very, very quiet town. It's really a town. I mean, you may have seen some rural Russia videos. People have done them, especially from Russia. If you've seen any English speakers do them, they're usually in not such a rural place. They're in kind of semi-rural, or in towns that are considered rural, but not properly. Stare Russa is very rural. It's a very, very small town. It's a place that most people have never heard of, actually. It's kind of what they call a hidden gem. So you've got people in Russia Russians who've never heard of Stare Russa. You've got then people outside Russia who've definitely never heard of Stare Russa. So a really small place, really nice, but it's had a lot of investment recently, the last few years, and they're building a new hotel apparently, 400 and something rooms. So really designed for internal tourism or auto tourism. It's going to have petrol stations. The hotel's going to have a petrol station on it and all kinds of stuff. 400 beds or something like that, and it's very close to the centre of town, so within minutes of walking. So should be very nice. The hotel. It's quite away. It's not quite away from it. It's not far enough away from it that I won't see it or hear it. It won't affect my piece of paradise. So we're going to go back down shortly now. We're going to go this way. Come on then. Come on, Jackie. Time for a cup of tea, I think. So that's the plan anyway. So this year, a lot of live streams from up on the site, from the town. I'll show all of that, as well as the build. We'll probably do live streams of the build as well as the build. A lot of work to do this year. A lot of work. This year is going to be very much harder for me because we're working at second story kind of level, most of it. There's a bit of remedial work, so I've got some stud work to do. I've got the top plate to finish off the top plate. There's all that to do, all the studs, all that got to do. Then we've got the ceiling joist to put in and all the stud work for that. It's all got to be insulated as we go along. And then after that, then comes on the roof structure. And the roof structure means that even the ceiling stuff, everything has to be lifted up by me alone up onto the roof. So it's a case of leaning it up, then going up, and then pulling it up. And it's going to be a long process. I'm not expecting it to be super fast, but the videos are going to be very much different, very differently filmed. We'll be doing it from multiple angles. We will be doing it from in a story-driven way rather than the technical videos I did before, which weren't really aimed for YouTube. They were aimed for immigrants groups. So this year, very different. You can expect lots of nice things from me this year. And also, my wife will be doing her segment this year. So Her Eyes, if you've seen the first video, the second one's out on Thursday at 3 p.m. Moscow time. That's Her Eyes, and she'll be doing them, one of them a week, I think. So it'll be intermix, one of mine, one of hers. So they build from a story-driven way from my side with the technical bits in, and then from the wife, she'll be doing her bit as well. And we'll be live streaming a lot of it. So basically on the spot, you can say, I mean, yeah, I can't watch the screen all the time with text, but certainly you'll be able to check in. And when I stop for a cup of tea, I'll read through any messages and anything you want to ask at that point, you'll be able to ask what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. Obviously, things are different here. I know if you're an American and you've seen frame housing, I'm doing things slightly different, and the reason is for cold climate differences. So things like if you watch any of the things in the videos, you'll see that I'm putting what they call jutevi uteplitl, which is jute or flax insulation between the layers of timber. And you'll also see I'm doing it. That's between anything basically where there's a gap. You wouldn't do that in most modern housing in America. You wouldn't do that in a place like that. So it's kind of unique here, and it's to help keep the cold out. Also, every joint will be rechecked and filled. If there's even the slightest millimeter gap, will be filled with spray foam. You could say it's over the top, you don't need it. Well, I'll explain that as I go through. Basically what you've got American, you call it a wrap. Here you call it membrane. In UK we don't have such a thing. But basically you wrap the house in membrane, and then you put spacers on. And what happens is you do it on both sides. And if you haven't got your frame joints completely sealed in, what you get is a bellows effect from as the wind hits the wrap or the membrane. It then hits the inside with air. Come on then, this way, with air, and then this way. Come on, with air, and then it causes the inner membrane to also create this bellows effect. And what you get is a blast of cold air straight into your house. And any little gap, you'll find it straight away. So it's not a case of, oh, it's only a tiny gap, it won't get through. What you got is a bellows effect from membrane. So that's how it works. And so you must fill every little tiny gap in. It's laborious work, but actually, in fact, it doesn't take that long. If you've got spray foam now on these guns, these spray foam guns that they've got nowadays, they're only cheap. One can of spray foam will do a whole frame in no time at all. And it's worth doing, even whatever country you're in, whether it be whatever. If you're building frame housing, that will save your joints. It'll save your house. It'll save your peace of mind. It'll save your comfortableness later on. I know there's people who've said, oh yeah, we're building a house, and there's a couple of bloggers here who are doing, we're building a house, but they're not actually building a house. What they're doing, they're having a house built. Very different. And I would suggest that those people who are doing that haven't got a clue what they're on about. Because they've never done it, they never will. They're getting builders to do it, and they're relying on other people. They have no first-hand experience of it. So if you watch my build videos, you're getting authenticity over anything else. I will keep it authentic. I'm hoping to keep it authentic. There's never go down the old clickbait route. I don't think it's right that if you're gonna, I mean, if you're doing entertainment, building a cabin in the woods in a day, yeah, okay, that's entertainment. I understand that, and nobody's going to pretend that it's a permanent living situation. It's a cabin in the woods. It's romantic. You might go there for the weekend in the summer, and it's going to be fine. You'll have a nice time. You don't care. Go back to your house or your permanent living in the winter time. But if you're going to live in a permanent house then you really should be taking the precautions that I'm taking and doing what I'm doing. You'll see on the future videos, you'll see the inside, how the electric's going, how the water system goes in, how the central heating system goes in, how the toilet system and shower, all that goes in, jacuzzi and all that. That'll all be videos. I'll show all that, how we protect the pipes against freezing. This house is very different to the one in St. Petersburg. This one, but it's, you know, beside us, so it's just in case of getting a connection on. So very, very different. That's very simply done up there. And St. Petersburg has been a pain in the butt to get it done. I won't go into it, but it's been a legal nightmare for a lot of people here. Yeah, whatever. But basically, people couldn't get registered for a long time here, and it's just been sorted out now. And there's the this electric actually only got in. This came in, I forgot how many years ago, but about 4 or 5 years ago. Before that, we were on without electric. So it would have come in about. Now we're on it, and it's been about 7 years, I think. So there you go. About half the time I've been here, I've been completely off grid, and it wasn't through choice. It was through broken promises. You know, this area is going to get this. If you're coming to Russia as an immigrant and you come into a new settlement, be very, very careful about what's promised. Because you could say, oh, you're going to get electric next year, and you could be years without it. Or you're going to get gas this year, and unless there's already infrastructure there, that's already there. If it's planned, plan is one thing. You want to see it physically there. If there's gas there, great. If there's not, don't touch a plot of land like that. Otherwise you'll end up on wood burners, whatever. Price of electric in Russia is very cheap at the moment, but if you working here, you had to work here on the Russian salary, then you wouldn't find it so cheap. You'd find it expensive, same as anywhere else. So that kind of way, not the cheapest. Anyway, that's about me done. I'm going to go back. Dog's looking at me now. Wolf dog's looking at me thinking, time to go home. Time to go home. And I've got to go back now, have a cup of tea, have something to eat, and then on with round 25 million of getting the water back on, which has now become a pain in the butt. But we'll try it today and see what happens. See if I can get it to go. It has been giving me extreme problems and whatever. I think we've got it now, and I think we've got it sorted out. And hopefully today will be water on. So as soon as the water comes on, straight into shower, hot shower, blah blah blah. At the moment, so a couple of days without shower, and I'm starting to get irritable about it. It's not good. Getting water from the well's okay, but so your shower ends up as a one bucket, and it's just not the same, is it? It's just, it ain't. So I'm planning to get that done today. My wife is still in Severlos. She's not come back. I told her to stay there until we get the water on. It makes sense that she wouldn't be here in the cold. It's very, very cold. Looking after her, because obviously she's a bit older. She's 61, I'm 57, so make sure that she's safe. So things like this happen. You go to other people's houses. Obviously, the girl who's heating broke down, she's no choice. She's staying with us, but our place, at least it's warm, whereas the place wasn't. So advantage. Although we haven't got water. It's yeah, it's chaos, isn't it? Chaos. It'll all be right in the summer. It'll all be alright. And there's a famous Russian expression. They say, "So будет хорошо," and it means everything will be okay, and it will be. It'll all be okay. It's just it is a depressing month, February. It is one of those cold times of year that's really very, very cold. I was expecting it to be very, very cold, but I wasn't expecting the water to get cut off. And it's just one of the things. Come a month's time, and I've forgotten all about it, and I'll be much happier about it. But, for the time being, it is cold still, and what have you. You can see a lot of snow still around the place. Very dim, not very bright on the screen. I've noticed that. Right, because of the high. Hey, come on, this way. Come on, don't mind. We're not going on there. we're not going to, and you as well. Hey, come on, don't mind. So anyway, I'm not having these two out any longer. It's cold and it's gonna, apparently it's gonna mad snow, which is great because this road will tend to slush when it goes to plus temperature, which will be really nice. I know if we get up and I'm gonna get this van dug out at some point and get fixed, get it back on the road ready to go back to Novgorod. You see, it's covered in snow. I took the radiator off it actually and to stop it from freezing and what have you, so it's safe enough. Anyway, I haven't had any texts come through here today, so I'm sorry if I haven't said hello. Nothing's coming through. I don't know why. Ooh, it's not there. I don't know why it's not done work. I don't know why it's not works of this software I'm using. And quick look actually, see if I can get it to go before I go. If anything does come up. No, it's not working. Text not working. So anyway, have a great day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you in the next live stream.